This week's grammar lesson is about making sure that you don't make incomplete comparisons with your modifier use. For example, the sentence basketball players are often taller than any athletes is not as clear as basketball players are often taller than any other athletes. You want to make sure that you're clarifying that comparison. Or Chris is smarter than the students. You want it to say Chris is smarter than the other students. In addition, you want to make sure that when you do compare things, you're clarifying that they are like things. This is where the modifier comparisons can kind of get goofy. So it's unclear when you write something like a dog's tail wags more than a cat, because what is suggested there is that the entire cat would be wagging, and that's kind of goofy. So instead you would want to write a dog's tail wags more than that of a cat, or use the possessive apostrophe S and say a dog's tail wags more than a cat's. With the apostrophe S, it's very clear that the tail is understood. So you can do that. I like the one down here. This is my favorite. My father's pancakes are tastier than my mother, which would make it sound like you were a cannibal or something. You don't want to do that. So instead, you would say, my father's pancakes are tastier than those of my mother, or again, use that possessive apostrophe S ending and say, my father's pancakes are tastier than my mother's. And we know it means my mother's pancakes. So let's see what that looks like in your lesson. So when we go into the lesson, the directions, there they are for you to highlight the two words other or else should be inserted between. So for example, the first poem is shorter than any, we would want other poem in the entire book. So you're going to highlight any and poem because we want other to go right in between there. In this first sentence, the tree shading the front porch is older than any other tree in the yard. And then we'd move on to the next one, and so on and so forth. Hopefully that makes sense, and good luck for the week. Take care.